Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee, the site for the final game of the 2021 volleyball regular season here. We have a star-studded affair between two sides that have garnered each the number 2 seed in their respective upcoming sectional tournaments, as the visiting Aviators of Hasbrouck Heights, a perfect 11-0 on the season, come calling to take on the Fort Lee Bridgemen 9-5 overall. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long. Happy that you could join us here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube page. And in this one, it's going to be tough to tell the difference as both teams black uniforms with orange tinges as well. It will be Hasbrouck Heights starting things off with service to begin here in the first set of the day. And the first thing is an ace for Crystal Kelly, number 13. The junior with now 25 aces to her name this season, as the Aviators will take a quick 1-0 lead here in the opening set of action. Again, Hasbrouck Heights perfect this season, 11-0, as that'll go out of bounds and will be a 2-0 lead for Hasbrouck Heights. Hasbrouck Heights win a perfect 10-0 in the NJICAA Division 5. 11-0 on the season. They are the 2 seed in the Group 1 North 2 sectional playoffs. That goes out of bounds and will be now a 3-0 lead to start for as we're looking and conferring, might have been initially waived in the position for the Aviators, but instead it is a point awarded for Fort Lee, so it is a 2-1 advantage for Hasbrouck Heights. First time that we're seeing Ayla Kim serving here, and she serves that long and out of bounds, as it will be a quick timeout taken by head coach John Ziemba of Fort Lee, talking things over with his girls, who trail in the early goings here 3-1. The head coach on the other sideline is Jackie Ferranti, who has led the Aviators to their first league championship in program history this season. As I mentioned, they went undefeated 10-0 in the NJIC Division 5, garnering the number 2 seed in Group 1 North 2, as they have a bye in the first round. The first round beginning today for both respective sectional tournaments. They will play the winner of number 7 West Caldwell Tech taking on number 10 North Arlington. Fort Lee, the number 2 seed in Group 2 North 2. They will take on the winner of 7 Garfield taking on number 10 Morris Tech. So both teams taking advantage of this bye, as there's an ace for Hasbrouck Heights. And Samantha Russo, number 30, the freshman. The middle blocker doing some damage there from service. Hasbrouck Heights leading 4-1, but this was a late addition to the regular season schedule. Both teams taking advantage of each other having a bye, and nice final tune-up before the sectional playoff run. Drop shot, dug out in the back line. Good hustle there by Nutrawani. And the drop shot that time does fall for the Aviators of Hasbrouck Heights, as Nicole Delara, the senior, who leads the team with 90 kills coming into today's action, getting that point there. 5-1 lead for Hasbrouck Heights here in the early stages of the opening set. And there's another service ace for the Aviators. 6-1 lead. Fort Lee trying to snap a 2-match losing streak coming into today's action. They lost the last time out here on our broadcast against Riverdale, one of the top teams in the state, let alone Bergen County. And then we're defeated by arch rival Cliffside Park on the road last time out, as Fort Lee gets it over. Fort Lee in the white numbers, and the orange numbers in the black uniforms is going to be Hasbrouck Heights, if you're trying to tell the difference. Dug out at the nets, but Fort Lee just not able to get it going, and a quick start to this opening set for the visitors from Hasbrouck Heights. Heights on top 7-1 here in the opening set. And it remains Samantha Russo serving. little miscommunication there in the front line as Casey Rue had gotten a piece of it, but teammate wasn't lurking there at the net to try to get it up and over. Fort Lee trying to get on the same page. They trail by 7, 8-1 here in the opening set. Hasbrouck Heights a perfect 11-0 on the season. And stuffed at the net, and a point there for Fort Lee. Yishi Huang getting up high and making that point a reality. As Samantha LaHoulier was waiting there herself at the net, could not get it over for Hasbrouck Heights. 8-2. Nicole Coelho doing the serving on this point here for Fort Lee. Nice defensive play there by Nicole Uchawani. Diving play there to save this. But Hasbrouck Heights just can't get it over. As Crystal Kelly had done a great job of diving to make that still in play, but they just couldn't get that third hit up and over. And that's going to be a net fault there on the service by Coelho. 9-3 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights, coming off a 2-0 victory in their match against Saddlebrook last time out on the 9th of April. Nice defensive play there by Ayla Kim. Chawani digging it out, setting it up. Pushing it up and over was Kylie Chan. Nurchawani again, good defensive work in the back line for Fort Lee. Good volley going back and forth between these two sides. Setting it up and over to the far side. Hasbrouck Heights setting it up here, looking for the kill. Nice play by Coelho. Longest volley of the first set by far between these two sides. 9-3 advantage, and just dropped off in front of the diving attempt of Nicole Coelho. And after that long volley, it is a 10-3 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights here in the opening set. Michaela Amato got the service going here for Hasbrouck Heights. As that goes too long, we'll go out of bounds past the far back line. And it'll be a 10-4 lead with substitutions coming in for both teams. Coach Sean Ziemba's side winning a share of the Big North American League title for the first time since 2015. The volleyball team here at Fort Lee has won a championship, so a championship season, looking for more though. And finally getting his team and his lineup getting healthy. Right at the opportune time, a couple of diving plays there by Hasbrouck Heights to eventually get it over. Setting it up, deflected, and it will end up as the kill for Nicole Delara. Delara brings such velocity and strength from the near side wing as an outside hitter. She went diagonally and then popped that home for another kill and another point here for the Aviators. On another timeout, take it. 11-4 advantage for Hasbrouck Heights. They're leading Fort Lee here in the opening set of this best of three. Again, this will be the final regular season matchup for both sides before they will embark on the postseason. In New Jersey high school volleyball this season, we are not playing to group championships and going to the TOC. It will simply be played to a sectional title. Both teams in their respective sections. Group 1 North 2 for Hasbrouck Heights. Fort Lee is in Group 2 North 2. And both teams will begin their playoff march as their respective 2 seeds in their brackets beginning on Thursday afternoon. So what a way to warm up here before the postseason officially begins on Thursday. 11-4 Hasbrouck Heights leading, and they will be serving here in the first set. As that'll be popped up. Lang setting up Pagan up in front. Hasbrouck Heights has been solid defensively. And that time that goes out of bounds to the far side. It will be a point for the Bridgemen. 11-5 lead now for the Aviators of Hasbrouck Heights. With Yishi Huang, the senior, serving here for Fort Lee. leads the team in assists on the season. A remarkable 368 assists for her career. Pagan gets the point as Fort Lee responds with back-to-back points here in the first set to pull closer, back to within 5 at 11-6. Wang again doing the service. Little miscommunication there, and Hasbrouck Heights just gets it over in time, but they're going to rule that into the nets, and a point for Fort Lee. So the Bridgemen going on a 3-point run here to pull back to within 4 at 11-7. Now popped over, and again, looks like the back line was on its heels a little bit. That led to the ball just getting caromed just in front of the net. 12-7 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights. That'll be a service error into the net. Point going the way of the Bridgemen. 12-8 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights as once again Coach Siemba goes to his bench for a change. And coming in to serve is going to be number 15, Luciana Casal, the junior, with 11 assists and 5 kills against Dumont on April 3rd. Wang sent up to the far side. Diaz rejected backwards by the length of Samantha Russo, and the point there for the Aviators. 13-8 now the lead, as Russo used her size advantage there to deny that point attempt for Amy Diaz, number 28 of Fort Lee. Kelsey Parati getting the service points, as that is not returnable, and the ace now for the Aviators, who once again move their lead back to 6, 14-8. The lead here in the opening set for Hasbrouck Heights. Kim got the initial piece of it. Pagan getting it up and over. Katie Murtaugh got a piece of it. But then that goes out of bounds to the far side for another point for Hasbrouck Heights. So they've settled down after Fort Lee went on a 3-0 run. The Aviators respond with a 3-0 run of their own. 15-8 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights serving. Good hustle, but it goes out of bounds for the ace again. As Hasbrouck Heights really cleaning up here with number 2, Kelsey Parati. (16-8). Hasbrouck Heights doubling up Fort Lee here in the opening set from East Gymnasium in Fort Lee. Dan Long, glad that you could join us for Fort Lee Athletics here on YouTube. And just a wicked hit on that one, as the English of that ball made a weird Karaman turn and did not allow Sophia Pagan a clean look at that return. 17-8 now the lead for Hasbrouck Heights. Trying to get it to the far side and trying to range over to make the defensive play, but Fort Lee just can't. Off of the hit by Crystal Kelly. 18-8, all momentum on the side of the Hasbrouck Heights Aviators. Have won all 11 of their matches this season. Pagan trying to get it to the back line. Knocked down. Good deflection and rejection in front of the net by Sophia Pagan. The sophomore used that athleticism and that vertical leap to deny the return attempt there for Hasbrouck Heights. Pagan with the point. 18-9 the lead now for Hasbrouck Heights here in the opening set, with Nicole Nutrawanai, the junior, serving for Fort Lee. And dropped right in front of Nutrawanai for the point in the back line for the Aviators. And Hasbrouck Heights once again now leading by double digits, 19-9 here in the opening set. Chawani saving that. Diaz doing a good job of getting around Samantha Russo. But then eventually it's found with another cross-court winner for Hasbrouck Heights, who have taken a commanding 20-9 lead here in the opening set. Let's see why this team is undefeated on the season, and another service ace. This time off the hands of Crystal Kelly. Kelly, number 13, the junior outside hitter, had a season-best 17 service points with 10 aces in their win against Beckton on April 5th. You could see why. 21-9 now, the lead for Hasbrouck Heights. And it just hung up on the top of the net and fell backwards. And it's just been all Hasbrouck Heights here in this opening set. 22-9 now for the Aviators. Two programs on the rise here in Bergen County, and Russo with the block out in front. Russo, only a freshman. So effective with her size in the front for Coach Ferranti and the Aviators. That goes out of bounds on the far side, and we're now at set points for Hasbrouck Heights, leading the Bridgemen of Fort Lee 24-9 here in the opening set. It has just been a dominant performance. One of the rare missteps as Kelly serves that into the net. 24-10 now, the lead. Still with set points. And Ayla Kim now serving for Fort Lee. And that time in for the points and in for the winning point of the opening set. The Aviators of Hasbrouck Heights will take the opening set by a score of 25-10. After that kill shot by Nicole Delara. Delara, who leads Hasbrouck Heights with 90 kills on the season coming into this one, finished that one off in style just in front of the back line. So again, a 25-10 victory for Hasbrouck Heights in the opening set of action, as we will have a timeout here before heading to the start of the second set, as you're watching Fort Lee Bridgemen Volleyball here on YouTube. Five to 10. Again, they have won all 11 of their matches this season, with only one of them going to 3 sets needed. And that was back on April 6th against Woodridge, when the Aviators outlasted Woodridge 2-1. Everything else, has been straight set winners. On their way to an 11-0 record of the number 2 seed in their group. The number 1 seed in Group 1 North 2 is Verona. The number 3 seed in that group is Lyndhurst. So after some talking and some instructions being given by the coaching staff of Fort Lee, we'll see what type of adjustments are made by the Bridgemen, who have fallen behind here 1-0. Their last time out, the Bridgemen lost at Cliffside Park 2-0, losing 25-20 in both opening sets. Fort Lee is 3-2 at home this season. They will be hosting their next match guaranteed against either Garfield or Morris Tech. They'd love to enter into the postseason with a win here today. Work to do down 1 set. Ayla Kim beginning the second set as the service for Fort Lee. Both teams in the black and orange. Fort Lee to your left on the screen, to your right in the orange numerals is Hasbrouck Heights, an early 1-0 lead for Fort Lee to begin this second set. Ayla Kim had 10 assists in that loss against Cliffside Park over the weekend, serving for the second time here. Little too hot to handle there, as Murtaugh was trying to save it in the back line, but it deflected off of her. Last 1-1 the score here to begin the second set. Back it goes with Crystal Kelly serving for the Aviators. In this matchup of Bergen County rivals, as that is hit out of bounds wide, and it's now a 2-1 advantage for Hasbrouck Heights. Hasbrouck Heights raced out to an early advantage against Fort Lee back in the first set. So just momentarily, it was the first lead of the day in any set for Fort Lee. It's now 2-2 the score, with Nicole Coelho, the junior, serving for the Bridgemen. Little too long, and staying off it was Hasbrouck Heights. A 3-2 lead for Hasbrouck Heights. Now Samantha Russo serving for Heights. Nurchawani got that initial stop in the back line. Now they get it over to Delara. And it just hung up again, lipped on top of the net. That denied Yishi Wang to quickly try to get it up and over. Led to the fourth point of the second set now for Hasbrouck Heights at 4-2. Russo serving again. Stopped initially by Casey Rue. What a diving effort there by Parati. Kylie Chan getting it over for Fort Lee. Net front presence there. Michawani. Now eventually it's Rue gets it over. Good volley going between both sides. Just dug out and it bounced backwards. Unfortunate carom there as Nicole Coelho had dug it out, but then it hit into a light stanchion at the top of the ceiling, and when it caromed back, she couldn't be the one to then double hit it. So it had to fall in front of her for the fifth point of the second set for Hasbrouck Heights. Chan gets it over. And a winner down the near side this time by Nicole Delara. So the senior Delara, the outside hitter, has been used to just getting the winners down that far side diagonally. That time tricked Fort Lee up a bit and maneuvered to sneak it down the near side wing. 6-2 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights, with Russo still serving. Miss hits that one into the nets, and the middle blocker will get back to her spot. 6-3 lead now, as Fort Lee will be serving, as Lily Schulman, the senior, will come in. Schulman serving. Dug out by Kelly. And there's another winner for Nicole Delara. And watching her in the pregame, she was awfully impressive with how high and how hard she hits it. And Delara has been that wrecking ball for this Aviators offense here this afternoon, as the defense has just not been able to slow down and return her kills. Pagan, flat-footed, and that kind of caught Hasbrouck Heights off guard. Weren't thinking that they were going to set up the middle hitter there. And Sophia Pagan, the sophomore, getting the point for Fort Lee, who trails 7-4 now here in the second set. They lost the opening set 25-10. It's a matchup of two teams who have garnered the number 2 seed in their respective sectional tournaments. Both will be in action in the playoffs on Thursday. You can watch that match here for Fort Lee on Thursday afternoon in the same place on YouTube. And that time, Delara just a little too long as the flag goes up and the point goes over to Fort Lee. And the Bridgemen pull back to within 2 at 7-5. As Yishi Wang, once again the senior, is serving. Setting it up, over to Rue. Diving in is Kelly. And once again, finished off by Delara. Delara had 9 kills, 6 service points, and 3 aces in their last match against Saddlebrook. And now Nicole Delara, the senior, will be serving here for Hasbrouck Heights with the Aviators on top 8-5. And there's an ace as Coelho went diving in front of her teammate Shillman, apologizing to her, saying she should have laid off that one. Shillman might have had a better chance at a return. But a point nonetheless for the Aviators, now up 9-5 here in the second set. Hasbrouck Heights wins this set, they will win the match and head into the postseason winning 12 in a row. That goes into the nets. Point goes over to the Bridgemen. Fort Lee serving, trailing 6-9. Dug out by Diodaris, the libero. Pagan. Beautiful location on that shot. As Pagan went to the far side and snuck it in just in bounds for the points. Back-to-back points for Fort Lee. 9-7 lead for Hasbrouck Heights. Much more competitive performance here in the second set for Fort Lee, playing more like their usual standards for the team that has garnered 9 wins on the season coming into today's play. Another point, and now Fort Lee pulls to within 1 at 9-8 here in the second set. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds. We are tied at 9-9. So a nice run here for Fort Lee on the comeback trail. Ishiana Casal serving. Hasbrouck Heights having a little difficulty returning those serves. Casal with the ace, and now the Bridgemen back on top, 10-9. First time since they led 1-0 in the beginning of this set. Kim getting it over, but a little too long and out of bounds to the far left side. 10-10 the score. As Coach Ziemba frustrated there as he saw his team was on a run. Low lining serve, just getting it over. LaHullier. And another point now for Fort Lee. Good back and forth action here in the second set. 11-10 the lead for the Bridgemen. Again, the Bridgemen will be back in action here on Thursday at East Gymnasium, playing the winner of number 7 Garfield and number 10 Morris Tech. Fort Lee defeated Garfield in the first rounds of the state playoffs in Group 2 last season. And Fort Lee not able to get it over in time, as that was hit 4 times outside of the given 3 hits. Now it's a point for Hasbrouck Heights. We're tied 11-11. Here in the second set. Hasbrouck Heights leading 1-0. Diaz. Russo just trying to push it over. Aviators get it over. Good defensive work. A little English on that one by Yishi Wang. And those little spinning shots that went against Fort Lee every time in the first set finally went the Bridgemen's way. And a point for Fort Lee, leading again, this time 12-11. Diaz was looking for a teammate to help her out. But it kind of got dropped in between a couple of Fort Lee players. 12-12 the score, with service going back to Hasbrouck Heights. Kim eventually gets it to Chan, who gets it over. Drop shot, and Nutrowani chased after it. Looked like from the naked eye that would have fallen just inside the back line. So good pursuit on her part. She just couldn't get it over in time. 13-12 lead now for Hasbrouck Heights. Kelly's serve. Again dug out. Heights just gets it over. Diaz looks to drop it in. Wang setting it up. Inside for Chan, who gets the kill. Kylie Chan, the senior, off the assist from Yishi Wang. 13-13 is where we stand right now here in the second set. Coelho with the service. Great hustle there by Coelho. Roddy started things off. Delara's attempt is stopped. Chan getting it over. Roddy getting that deflected into the net. And nice work there by Fort Lee. Back on top, 14-13. Here in the second set. Love the activity and the action here by the Bridgemen in this game. The second set, much more like the high-quality volleyball we've seen all throughout 2021 for the Bridgemen. Deflected just off the fingertips. Coelho digging it out. Chan getting it up and over. Russo pushing it right back. Setting it up. Blocked at the net, and there's another block for Samantha Russo. Russo with the size advantage in the front, that net front presence. For number 30 in black and orange, who's about to go serve it herself. Her point has tied things up at 14-14 here in the second set. The freshman had 10 service points against Woodridge on April 6th, and there's a point in the front. LaHoulier was trying to make that stop in front, number 15 for Hasbrouck Heights, but could not get it cleanly. So it leads to the points. 15-14 lead now for Fort Lee, with Shillman doing the honors of serving. Pagan. Delara got a piece of it, then gets it over. At the net, Wang eventually one-armed over and out of bounds to the far side by Casey Rue. As the junior was kind of backpedaling, losing her balance, and just trying to get a piece of it. As Coach Siemba is trying to talk things over, he'll take the timeout with the game tied at 15 all here in the second set. Hasbrouck Heights took the first set easily, 25-10. But now it's been a back-and-forth affair here in the second set as Hasbrouck Heights held a lead early on, and Fort Lee has matched that on a couple of occasions, going on longer runs, but has not led by more than 2 or 3 throughout this second set themselves. For Fort Lee, a reminder, fans, that they will be playing on Thursday against the winner of Garfield and Morris Tech this afternoon. And you'll be able to watch all of the action of the Group 2, North 2 sectional playoffs here from East Gymnasium on Thursday at 4:15 here on YouTube. We thank everyone for tuning in all throughout this season in 2021, supporting these great student athletes from all the schools, but of course supporting the Bridgemen here, courtesy of the Bridgemen Athletic Department. It's been an honor to join you throughout the athletic season, and looking at more and more here this season. Pagan reaches over and fires that one home for another winner. 16-15 the lead for the Bridgemen And Fort Lee with the service coming up for Yishi Huang. Huang, who had 11 kills in their last match against Cliffside Park. This is what she does best as the best setter in their league. Pagan getting it over. Pagan, one of those talented multi-sport athletes here at Fort Lee. And eventually leads to the points. And again, number 21, Sophia Pagan, the sophomore, is starting to assert her dominance in front. And it's now a 2-point lead for Fort Lee, 17-15. Wang serving. Taken in by Kelly. Eventually it's fired home by Delara. Again, Delara has such velocity on her shots. That rarely has it been the case where Fort Lee has had a member of the back line able to dig out a couple of her kill opportunities. Delara with another point, 17-16. Still the lead for Fort Lee with Delara serving. Coelho hit it backwards. Coelho, though, saved it. Blocked in front by Pagan. Wang to Kim. Good volley. Delara getting it over. In front and deposited away. LaHoulier, getting that point in the front of the net. Timed her jump perfectly, two-handed, just popped it back forward. The Aviators scoring the last 2 points after drilling 17-15. It's 17-all. Here in the second set. Hasbrouck Heights wins this set. The match is over. Only once has Hasbrouck Heights been pushed to play 3 total sets in a match this year, as that's going to be a point awarded to Hasbrouck Heights, as it looks like Pagan might have touched the net as that was in play. 18-17 now the lead for Hasbrouck Heights. So again, fans, it's been total dominance this season by Hasbrouck Heights. We saw that was the case in the opening set, a 25-10 win. But Fort Lee playing stride for stride with the Aviators here in the second set. What was just moments ago a 17-15 lead for Fort Lee has disappeared and has now become an 18-17 advantage for Hasbrouck Heights, who again will be playing on Thursday. The winner of either West Caldwell Tech or North Arlington. In the quarterfinals of the Group 1 North 2 sectional playoffs. So Nicole Delara serving here for Hasbrouck Heights. Kim digging it out. Pagan blocked at the front. Back to Pagan, and Pagan gets the points. Sophia Pagan, who's a standout on the basketball team, only a sophomore, really has emerged in the second set. In the front of the nets as a scoring option here for Fort Lee. 18-18. Casal serving. Dug out by Romina Diadaris. Pagan gets it over. Valeria Diadaris, the libero, digging that one out. Here's Pagan. Dug out by Delara. Good volleying again between these two sides. Pagan trying to go for the soft touch. Good D. Diaz deflected and it went out of bounds, and it's going to be a point for Fort Lee. Diaz upset with herself, the senior who again was brand new to the sport this season, yet Coach Ziemba thinking she will earn her first team all-league honors. Just an exceptional athlete. Had that one deflected back to her, but it deflected out of bounds for the Fort Lee point. Fort Lee on top 19-18. And it dropped just inside the back left corner as Coach Ziemba frustrated at how that shot opportunity was available. 19-19. What a second set here between these two teams. Diaz, Wang, Diaz. What hustle there by Heights, just when it looked like it was going to be a point for Fort Lee. The diving play in the back line. Diaz getting it up and over. And that one then will trickle here for the points. 20-19. Now the lead for Hasbrouck Heights here in the second set. As Casal was trying to make a diving play from the back line. Both teams have been trading the lead in the last couple of moments here in the second set. Low lining save. Kim did not get all of it that she wanted. She was frustrated after that one. Lead to the service ace for Hasbrouck Heights. 21-19, now the lead for the Aviators. 4 points away from capturing this match. Wang and Fort Lee need to rally here to force a third set. And on the line it goes for the points. And another one for Nicole Delara. 22-19, so a late push here in the second set for Hasbrouck Heights. 4 consecutive points for the Aviators since they were trailing 19-18, 22-19. Kim to Diaz. Diaz gets it over. Brody. And that one falls in for another point for Hasbrouck Heights, who's smelling the finish line here, leading 23-19. Again, this is not the postseason. It is simply the final tune-up in the regular season for the postseason, when both teams will chase their respective championships beginning on Thursday. Into the net it goes, a point for Fort Lee, and the Bridgemen now trail 23-20, but will be serving here and be looking for a spark. Number 22, Nicole Nutrawani, the junior, trying to get things going here with her service. Looking for Diaz, and Diaz knocks it downwards into the nets, and now it's set and match points for Hasbrouck Heights on top of Fort Lee, 24-20. Another point would send Hasbrouck Heights to their 12th win of the season, 12th consecutive win of the year for the Aviators. Barati dug out. Diaz gets it over to keep hope alive for Fort Lee, down 24-20. Nutrawani, Wang, over to Chan. Looking for the finishing blow, and there it is! As Hasbrouck Heights gets it from who else but Nicole Delara. And that will do it for the second set, as Hasbrouck Heights will take that one as well by a final score of 25-20. Completing the 2-0 victory here this afternoon after winning the opening set 25-10. A much more balanced second set between these two sides, as they were jockeying for position in the lead back and forth. But when it was 19-18, that was the last lead of the afternoon for Fort Lee, as Hasbrouck Heights went on a run to put themselves in position and eventually finish things off with a 25-20 final here. As Hasbrouck Heights will finish things off with a win here this afternoon, and we'll move to 12-0 on the season. Fort Lee, with the defeat, will finish the regular season 9-6, and will look for their 10th win of the season, whether they play Garfield or Morris Tech on Thursday in the quarterfinals of the Group 2 North 2 playoffs. So again, both teams who have been very impressive this season. Hasbrouck Heights still unbeaten on the year, 12-0. Fort Lee now 9-6. Both teams had a bye here this afternoon and will go into the postseason playing their first game on Thursday as the 2 seed in their brackets in hopes of capturing a sectional title, as that is what we will be playing to this season. No group titles, no TOC at the end of the season, but teams will have the opportunity to play towards a sectional championship when everything is said and done. So again, the final score here from East Gymnasium, it's Fort Lee falling to Hasbrouck Heights 2-0. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Fort Lee girls volleyball action here on the Fort Lee Athletics page on YouTube. For everyone here from East Gymnasium, I'm Dan Long saying so long. We'll see you on Thursday for the start of the postseason as Fort Lee tries to make it deep in the postseason and look for a sectional title. Take care, everybody.